Our Lifetime Achievement in Music Business is awarded this year to Jimmy Anselmo. There we go. Jimmy has spent his lifetime in the music business. After serving on the aircraft carrier USS Saratoga and getting discharged from the Navy in 1965, his first job back in New Orleans was bartending during the 3 a.m. graveyard shift at Papa Joe's on Bourbon Street. There he became friends with musicians who would eventually play at his namesake club, among them Freddie Fender and a pre-Dr. John Mac Rebenack. I saw the potential, Anselmo says of Al Pellegrini's, a rundown pool hall on Willow Street. In late 1976, he bought Pellegrini out, and Jimmy's Music Club opened on April 9th, 1978. The first two shows starred Lil Queenie and the Percolators and the Neville Brothers. He decided that since Tipitina's was only booking R&B, I was going to do everything for my survival. And Jimmy's eclectic lineup included Earl King, Professor Longhair, James Booker, and up-and-coming acts like the Radiators. He also capitalized on the burgeoning punk and new wave scenes with now legendary bands The Cold and The Sheiks. Outside promoters started booking national acts into the space, including the Greg Allman Band and Muddy Waters, stars of the then new MTV market such as Flock of Seagulls, and edgier fare like X and Jane's Addiction. New operators have now brought Jimmy's back to its proper place in the music pantheon of New Orleans. They want Jimmy's the way it was, he says. I own the building, but I'm just a consultant and advisor like they do in Las Vegas. I'll sign autographs and tell tales, and folks can rub my head like they do at Tipitina's. Now's your chance, my man. Come on up, Jimmy.
Oh, thank you. Well, this is quite an honor, and I'm really thrilled by this. And I go back a long ways with Jane, back in the old days. But I'm a New Orleans boy. Born in New Orleans. I grew up in a New Orleans neighborhood, Treme, not too far from here. And first of all, I want to thank Jan and Joseph for naming me this honor, and also my support team, my beautiful wife Joan, my cousin Roy, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, my sister, and my mother, 91 years old. I took her out the nursing home because I'm fortunate to have a mother alive to see this. But getting back to my New Orleans days, my dad was in the nightclub business in the French Quarter. He had music clubs in the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s. As a little boy, I can remember 5 years old on the bandstand playing with the drum kit. Oh, I was just thrilled about that. And my dad took me to all the clubs in New Orleans, the famous Door, Tony Almarico's Parisian Room, the Dream Room, and I got to see all these performers like Santo Pecora, Sharky Bonanno, Al Hurt, George Gerard. I saw it all. I went to the Dream Room. I saw Johnny Rivers. And then later in my teens, I went to all the music clubs. Loved music, and I had a fake ID. I went to the Dream Room. I would see all the acts there. I would go to the House of Zen. I would see Irma Thomas at the Mass Lounge, and just had a wonderful life in the music business. After I got off the Navy, I worked in a club on Bourbon Street, my brother-in-law and sister's club called Papa Joe's. And it was an extraordinary band there. It might have been the best band ever assembled in New Orleans. Freddie Fender, Joe Barry on vocals, Johnny Panino, Little Joe Lambert, and it was awesome. And then I had a couple places. I had one place called Coeds Uptown with my cousin Roy Anselmo, Quasimodo's, and then I started Jimmy's. And also as I was growing up, all these entertainers that I was just in awe of, Jesse Hill, Irma Thomas, Deacon John, they were all there. And then who would have thought later played in my club? I've had a really great life in the music business, and I want to thank my immediate family, the musicians, people in the music business. And I want to say something about New Orleans musicians. They are the kind of people, if someone is ill, someone needs some help, at the drop of a dime, they'll do a concert. Yeah, let's do it. Wonderful people. All you musicians are great. They certainly are. And I am just thrilled by this honor. I love my city. It's a great city. I love my city, and I'm not going to be too long, but I want to say that my city doesn't love me. I'm trying to open Jimmy's, and they denying the license because they say don't want to renew license. So if you would like to help, write to Susan Guidry and say, don't stop the music. Thank you very much.
Is that
very
just
humbled
crazy?
and proud. Thank you.
Is that just crazy? They don't want to reopen Jimmy's. That's just crazy. It's not right. Don't forget your award.
All right. Uncle Johnny. Listen, I want to say a lot of people who worked at my club I see out there. I think the world of y'all. They're all out there. Uncle Johnny, Brad Ellerman, Craig Yokin, Carlo Nucio, Deacon John. Where's my brother Deacon John? He's out there somewhere. Well, he was
Somebody
there
wants
anyway.
to say something about you, too. Somebody else wants to
Okay.
say a little bit. Where's Bert here? Bert?
Bert Smith?
Yep. Is Bert here?
Come on, Bert.
Come on, Bert.
All right.
There he is.
I'm Bert Smith. I was in a band called The Cold that played at Jimmy's more than any other place that we played. The hundreds of gigs that we did in the early and mid '80s, we played at Jimmy's Club more than any other place, and we probably hold the record for playing there more than any other band. But besides all the national acts that Jimmy brought in, all the great local acts he brought in, he also encouraged bands like The Cold that were just forming, figuring out what we needed to do. He gave us stage experience. He booked us over and over again. And he really did that for us and other bands like the Normals, the Red Rockers, Dash Rip Rock, Cowboy Mouth, so many. And he really wasn't just a nightclub. Jimmy's Music Club was a laboratory for music in a town where there's all the ingredients that you want, but just not enough places to mix them all up. So thank you, Jimmy, and congratulations.
Thank you for the kind words, Bert. And if you're nice to people, you give a job as a bartender, they'll say good things about you. He was not only a great musician, he was a great bartender. Thank you.